Hey guys, welcome back to the Tukes and Tires YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Zach, and we're doing a shop update. So if you're new here, we kind of do these every once in a while when we're kind of in between projects or something's kind of happening or just want to give you guys some more information. And we haven't done one in a while, so I figured we might as well show you guys what's kind of been happening in here since, you know, we finished up the Chevelle. Lacey, she's taking a venture outside. So yeah, I just thought we would talk about kind of a project, what's going to be coming up. You know, what we're going to be doing here in this video, because it's not just going to be talking. We might try to get some work done actually on this car. So yeah, we've been, you know, obviously if you watched the last video of the aftermath of Hot Rod Power Tour, you saw, you know, kind of everything we did to fix up the Chevelle. But I think we're actually going to try to tune this thing. So you can see I got a jet kit over there. I got to get the laptop yet because we're going to plug into the MSD controller to try to change some settings in that thing. So that's going to be fun. Maybe when I do that towards the end of the video. But a couple of you guys have been asking kind of what's been going on with Dad's wagon. So, you know, it's back there on the hoist. I don't know if you guys can see that. But you know, every once in a while I get messages about that thing. So Dad's been just, you know, working on that thing slowly. Actually, when we took this thing to Motorama, I can't remember if I mentioned it in another video or not, but he actually painted the front end while this car was out of the shop. So hopefully here soon, we're going to actually throw the front end onto that thing, just because he was waiting to do that, because he's been doing like a whole bunch of like suspension stuff, you know, like dialing it in and everything with like the rack that he put in there and stuff like that. I'm not sure if we showed that in another video or not, but basically that's what he's been doing on that thing. And he did throw some exhaust underneath it. He still has to do kind of like an over the rear end type of thing, but we're gonna get to that. So for you guys that have been wondering about the wagon, that's kind of what's been happening with that thing. You know, a lot of our time's been taken up by this here car, the C1 Chevelle. Lacey, you are so happy that it's back that you can sit on it. She absolutely loves this car. I leave the windows open so that she can go lay inside, because she'll just like sleep on the back little luggage tray back there. It's kind of cute. Yeah, you can see she absolutely loves this thing. But yeah, so we're going to be tuning this thing hopefully in this video. New projects that is going to be coming up here. I don't want to show you guys too much because there's going to be another video actually coming out on the project. It's actually sitting outside right now. Before we get back there to show you the little kind of sneak peek of what's going to be going into that and kind of what we're doing, I just want to take the time to ask you guys, what do you think we should do with the C1 Chevelle? I have a couple ideas in mind. Maybe, you know, try to get it a little dialed in more. Maybe try to do a burnout competition. But the real question is where should we take it if we're going to do that? Or should we try to do autocross this thing? Should we do another road trip? Just curious, put down in the comments down below what you think we should do with the C1 Chevelle. I'm up for any ideas just because this thing is pretty wicked, and I think you know, we should throw it at something and try it out. We might maybe take it locally to a Toronto Motorsports Park, try it out there, maybe on the track. I think that would be super cool. You know, I've just been driving the wheels off of this thing since we got back. You know, we've been taking it out. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd probably see that, you know, we've been just driving this thing all over the place. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you guys are missing out on content, because you would already know what the next project is, because I have posted on my story there. So you guys are missing out if you're not following me there. It's easier to do weekly updates on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So definitely go, you know, follow me there if you're not, because you're just missing out. And you might see Lacey from time to time, huh? You're just chilling. I think we're also going to clean up my 54, just because it's become a shelf since we were working on this thing for Power Tour. So like, the whole back of this thing is just completely covered. It's super dusty, so it'd be nice to get this thing out, fire it up, actually check it out from this year, because it's like basically everything that was for this car kind of just got tossed into this, and it was like, you know, I knew it was in here so we could, you know, find and stuff like that, but it's about time that we go through some of these boxes and actually burn some stuff. There's still decent parts in here that we didn't use on the Chevelle, so I'm gonna have to sift through that stuff to make sure that we don't throw any good stuff out. But I think the majority of the boxes are just gonna get burnt or thrown out or whatever. Over here, a little sneak peek for you guys to see what we're gonna be using as a motor on the next project. So if you don't know what that is, it's a big block Chevy. So it's kind of crazy, I know. We're not using an LS in the next project. So, you know, you guys are just going to have to stick around till the next video what we're actually going to be putting that big block Chevy into. So that's going to be kind of cool. We got a really cool plan for how we're going to dress that thing up. And I actually got to be out here And you know, I gotta check out a couple other parts to make sure I order some right stuff for that thing, so that we don't waste money. But it's gonna be kind of a budget build what we're doing with that thing, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away on the next project. Like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you would already know what that thing's going into, and if you kind of saw the other parts sitting around it, if you're kind of mischievous and you can see what that stuff is, you would know exactly what we're building. I think now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get the hood off of the Chevelle here. We're gonna check out what jets are actually in the front portion of this carburetor. I'm not too worried about the back bowl because that just comes in more like wide open throttle. So I'm very curious about that, see if we can get this thing dialed up. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go grab the laptop, maybe check out kind of what timing's into this thing, and we'll go from there. Probably when we come back, that truck's gonna be all nice and cleaned off, hopefully. Lacey, you gonna help out? Yeah, probably not. Here we go. Alrighty guys, well it's actually a new day. Cleaning up my 54 actually took most of like yesterday. So this is an extended shop update. But you can see that we're in the Chevelle and I'm actually messing around with the laptop in here. So basically what I've learned so far, because I haven't touched anything with like jetting it or anything, because I figured we might as well plug into this first just to see kind of what's going on with this thing. And just before when we did Hot Rod Power Tour, I just had this thing on like truck mode. So basically this controller has like dials that you can turn with the screwdriver on the actual controller itself. I have that thing up under the dash, so it's kind of hard to see. Basically, I could see that it didn't really have much timing to begin with. It's looking like I should probably hook up the map sensors because it has one built in, and I just have that going just like to atmosphere right now. Not a huge deal. But basically, this timetable right here that it was on, it just didn't have like any timing whatsoever. So now I switched over to high octane, even though I'm not running anything. I'm only running like 87. It's just the table is a lot nicer that where it's kind of going now. Basically I think we're gonna go with that. I might try to drive it like this right now just to see how that is. We'll fire it up here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So you can see basically at idle we got like 16 degrees. We're revving at about 1,000. I don't know. Once it gets hot, it doesn't like to kick down, so I might have to adjust the idle or whatever, but yeah, I probably should have done like a comparison before of what it was kind of idling at and also like the timing and everything, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. So I'm gonna get the old sniffer out on the tailpipe back there to see how it's smelling now. I still think it's running a little bit too fat. I should really get like an AFR gauge. That would be a lot, like really helpful. I still do want to actually get this car like on a dyno to have this actually like dialed in professionally. So hopefully in the future we're gonna actually get that done. But for now, basically, as far as my skills go, this is probably going to be good enough with just the preset it's got. I might mess around with like a custom setting, see what we can do there, but I'd really like to check obviously the jets first to see kind of what it's going at and also see how it is out on the street, because before this thing was kind of doggy. Obviously from the table it had in it before, I had like no timing, so it just like it was good enough to run and drive, but other than that it was like whatever. So I want to see how this is going to go first, and then we'll see about messing around with the jets. Obviously I'd still like it a little like on the fatter side if you know, so we don't blow the thing up, so I don't lean it out. Because obviously, like I said, I'd really love to get it on a dyno so that somebody that knows what they're doing, you know, I would trust them more than my own judgment with that kind of stuff, trying to get it to more of a performance side of things. Obviously, for driving around, it's, you know, what I can do, and what with my old man's help, you know, we can make stuff run. Yeah, so it's actually just pretty neat that we can plug into this thing and see that you know, everything that it can do. Like I said, I'm gonna mess around more with this to see you know, if I can get anything more out of it. You know, with the butt dyno, she's fast to begin with, so hopefully we're gonna get you guys on another cruise here. I don't know where we're going to end off this video. This might be it. Yeah, definitely comment anything down below if you guys are curious about any information with these shop updates. You know, I like to try to keep everybody informed as much as possible. Yeah, like I said, we got a new project coming on the way here. I'm actually staring at it right now as it rains outside. So hopefully that video is going to come up soon after this one, probably a week, to give me some more time to actually film the next coming video after that, just because that's kind of how I go about things. But thank you guys so much for watching this update. Hopefully I've answered some questions, and hopefully I can get some information from you guys of what we should actually do with the Chevelle. I'm up for anything, going on another long road trip, or, you know, just taking it to some cool places. I think that would be pretty neat. Or upcoming shows that are happening down in the States. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I think that's going to do for this update, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next video. And don't forget to salute the beaver. Alright guys, well, just before we end off this video, I know I said in the car that was going to be the end, but we figured we'd just take out the Jets and check them out. So there was 71s in it, and we're putting 68s into it. I think that's what we said that we're doing. Hopefully that's going to make a difference. We're just doing that in the primary bowl. We have no idea what's in the back one. Maybe we'll check that out if we still have an issue, but it majority only runs off of the front one anyways, basically under idle. So we'll try this out, see if it helps, and basically just go for there. But that's the end, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.